If you think you shouldn't do it, then you shouldn't do it. If you aren't certain that it's 100% okay to do, the right thing to do, don't do it. I don't know how else to explain it. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. That's the whole message of this video, in my opinion. What's going on, Army? This is your boy Martin, aka Level here, back today with another video, only this time a Bora video. The Bora, this Bora.
This is a slander. See? I didn't make any sound.
She has returned with another video essay, kind of another video. She's been killing it with all the live streams and stuff. And her live streams will still continue on, right? She's still killing it there, but in a way where she can definitely upload more video content such as this. Now, here on the Level Up channel with the Level Up family, we are big supporters of Bora. I did an interview with her a long time ago, probably one of the greatest moments and achievements and of my YouTube channel career up to this point. Because of my bias towards Bora, does not necessarily mean that me and Bora agree 100% with each other. We always manage to have our differences. Our similarities are about 99% on par with each other, and there's always that 1%, especially when it came to her song rankings of 2024. I'm interested to see what she has to say in this video. Is there a right way to be a BTS fan? BTS fandom etiquette guide. I'm very confident that she has pretty much nailed this down to a T. Only reason I'm reacting to it is to end or expand on it, on what she says, or maybe add some additional information if there is anything that she did leave out on things that maybe I wish I would have known, or, you know, maybe something similar to. I have a video kind of similar to this, I guess you could say, maybe that will be coming out this Friday that I would like for you guys to stay in tune for, which is the do's or do nots, or the things that I kind of wish I knew going to my first BTS concert. But I am so excited that Bora came out with this video. I'm curious to see what she has to say, maybe what things I need to piggyback on, or maybe if there's things that we don't agree on, maybe I can just explain it from my point of view. Love Bora, love the work that she puts in on the live streams and her videos as well. So shout out to you. So yeah, let's not waste no more time. Let's get right into it. Is there a right way to be a BTS fan? BTS fandom etiquette guide. Do me a big favor. Go ahead and smash that like button, comment down below, subscribe to the channel on our way to 20,000 subscribers. And without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Army, let's get into it.
BTS's fandom etiquette has been mostly self-regulated since the group started in 2013. Of course, there were some rules that BTS's label enforced on its once small fandom, but as BTS became more and more popular around the world, actions that were once okay started to become problematic, and the need for official fandom rules began. For example, sending gifts to the BTS members was once welcome, but when BTS started gaining worldwide popularity, the number of gifts became a problem. There were just too many. So BTS's team announced that since March 30th of 2018, they will return all gifts sent. Despite this rule, fans kept sending gifts, a lot of them. So BTS's team released another notice. It's not just that BTS will not open the gifts, but also the P.O Box company will not send them back to the fans, so they will simply throw them away. There have been instances when BTS released a notice and the fandom took them as suggestions. So in 2020, BTS's team, known as BTS Fan Club Manager, released a list of fandom etiquette rules, and in 2024, they released another notice with more rules for the online fandom space. These rules are not just suggestions. If you don't follow them, there is a range of possible consequences.
Hey Army, Future Level here. I just have to kind of stop the video. I'm about to go into an explanation regarding what Bora, was kind of just discussing about, sending the boys like packages and gifts and stuff like that. I kind of misunderstood here a little bit. I thought like this included like even sending letters and stuff as well, whereas Bora later in the video explains how you are able to send letters. Made me realize that I not jumped to conclusion, but I kind of misunderstood earlier in the video where she said like you couldn't send anything anymore. I thought this was, due to letters as well. There is a way for you to still send letters. She goes into a little bit more of an explanation about how you can do this properly, like on Weverse and stuff like that. So there is still a way. I thought this was completely off the table and I misunderstood. So I do apologize. I just thought I'd come and make that announcement here before you hear my explanation upcoming. So from this moment on, no more interruptions other than to talk about maybe something that Bora is discussing. But I just kind of had to mention that. I know that here in just a moment, I kind of misunderstood, but later she corrects my misunderstanding and stuff like that and definitely explains how to properly do this. And so I do apologize to Bora and to Army, but I didn't want to leave out any information or anything that or go back on my word. Like everything you see here is like a raw take, my reaction for the first time. I don't fake anything, so I wanted to leave everything that was said in there still. Just had to kind of clarify everything. Love you all. Hope you all have an amazing day. And let's continue on with the video. So let's get into this first, right off the bat. Let me say though that this is a bit upsetting, right? Because a little bit, right? And I want to say that I don't necessarily not agree with this. I definitely do. For someone like me who has become an Army at such a late point in their career, which again is nobody's fault but mine. We all know the story of how in the beginning when I used to work at my high school job on my way into college at Gap, I didn't have any interest in meeting the boys at video or knowing the boys, listening to their music. And I used to kind of hate on the girls who I knew that did listen to them, or the Armies that I knew that did listen to them. And I hate that I even acted that way ever since I've met the boys and who they are, what they stand for and everything that they do. That was probably the biggest regret of my life is I wish I could have gone back and changed that. But because I decided to wait at a later date, for them to come into my life and they found me at a later point, I'll never be able to take the opportunity to send them anything like back in the day where they could accept gifts. Now they're at a point where they're too major, right, in the world, too global, that their popularity is so high that you can't send them anything. And that is something that would upset me because I would love to write them a letter and or to let them know what it is and the impact that they have on my life and allow, and thank them for saving me and giving me the courage to change myself and all the better that they do, even if there's a chance that they probably won't read it. The fact that I know that they could accept it would really mean a lot to me. And that sucks because now they're at a point where they can't even accept gifts. Like she said, they'll just throw them away. And for a lot of the Armies who were there in the past, especially around when their popularity wasn't as major, they had the opportunity to do this, right? We've seen lots of times where they would receive mail and stuff like that from Armies, and that's super dope, bro. The fact that knowing one of the boys probably read your mail, your fan mail, has got to be an amazing feeling. And this is something that I'll never be able to experience. And I definitely wouldn't want to violate any rules. It just sucks that because of, the popularity that they do have, I'll never get that opportunity. But I shout out to those who had that opportunity, knowing the boys a long, long time, especially around the time when they debuted. And you did have the opportunity to do that. It's unfortunate and it sucks, but hey man, it's the rules and we got to abide by them. And I don't advise that anybody, God, please, nobody go against these rules. But I actually did not know that there were a set of rules. I thought that there was just kind of unwritten rules that were rules. So let's take a look at some of the rules that they have written here, which is please do not visit set or locations closed to the public or private spaces. That's kind of common sense. Yeah, I don't advise that anybody do that. You might get kicked off. You're definitely going to get kicked off set. It's not that a might. You won't even come close. And who knows, some legal action may be put onto you if this becomes definitely a problem. If you're not meant to be on set or you're not one of the boys, I don't think you should be there either way. This is something that also a lot of the paparazzi will do as well. If they know that the boys are going to be somewhere, maybe filming, and it may be different there, but here in LA, if they know that they're going to be somewhere, maybe filming like a music video or something like that, they're going to be around. That's just how it, TMZ and all that crap, they're going to be around. It shouldn't happen. And that's how the paparazzi and like the media and stuff like that are, especially here in the States. Like TMZ and all of them are just a bunch of, I don't know, heartless people. Like they don't care. They're just there for the story. And that's another cool thing about Bora as well, is she's here to provide information. She's not one of those media members like people of TMZ and stuff like that who only do it for the story for their personal gain. Whereas Bora here is one of the few great media people out there who are just informational and or to just express maybe things that are going around surrounding BTS. Please do not stalk the artists. This is what I was saying about the legal action applying to number one as well. If it became an issue that they're having to be like, yo, this is like the third set that you've been to that we keep telling you not to come to, I wouldn't be surprised if they filed some restraining orders and stuff on you if it became a problem for the safety of their boys, and rightfully so. I think that definitely is something that should happen. If this right here was to ever become a problem, please do not stalk them. This is something, one of the first things actually that was brought to my attention when I first started learning about the boys. This is one of the few rules that was spoken to me, which was if you ever got a chance to see them in public, wave to them, say hello, do not follow them. We all know about the story about that woman who was like outside of JK's house, like ringing his doorbell, like real late at night or something like that with her suitcase. Don't be that person. That's weird, bro. Like, don't do it. Please do not sell or purchase the artist's personal information. Now, I believe, if I can't even remember, something similar to this personal information about JK was sold like a while back, like his like hardcore personal information. I can't remember the details fully, but this is just kind of common sense. Like, you wouldn't want any of these things personally. So far, 1, 2, and 3, you wouldn't want to happen to you, right? So why would you want to do it to them? You know what I'm saying? Especially because of how amazing and sweet and beautiful that these people are. If you wouldn't want it done to you, why would you want to do it to somebody else? Please do not take photographs or record video or audio except where permitted. And this is definitely something that you see all the time, especially like on TikTok. There's lots of like footage of like spotting, the boys somewhere, and stuff like that, like recording them without their permission and stuff. And again, I know here in the States, like you don't need someone's permission to record in public, but still, if you wouldn't want to be followed around with the camera of somebody recording you in your personal space and when you didn't know, or when you're doing something, hanging out with your significant other or whatever, don't do it to them. Like, again, I know it's a free country here in the States, but I don't know how things are over there in Korea. Here in the States, you can film somebody. You don't need their permission when you're out in public. I just wouldn't do it anyway. It's kind of weird, honestly. Don't do it. It's weird. Speaking of the recordings and stuff like that, this is something that I've noticed, like that definitely has become an issue recently, especially when they're like at the airport. Like I remember he just got out of the military, and I don't exactly remember where he was going, and they like swarmed him. Like, they've swarmed BTS in the past at the airport, but I have never seen nothing like this. And you could see it all over V's face of how disappointed, maybe not scared, but nervous that he was with everybody who just kind of bum rush him, bro. Like, it was crazy. Everybody's trying to get that footage, and because everybody's trying to get that footage, they want the best spot, which is like right up close. And they just like surrounded him and swarmed him. Honestly, felt bad for him. Yeah, I don't know. I would love to record from a distance. I think it would be really cool if they would be okay with it, but come on now, like I just wouldn't do it.
Fandom space. These rules are not just suggestions. If you don't follow them, there is a range of possible consequences.
Which there should be.
I became a fan of BTS before they released these fandom etiquette rules, so I did read them once they were out, but I moved on. And being completely honest, the second notice was so long that I just skimmed through it. Only recently I read the full notices without skipping a single word. But because this is a long list, I decided to bring some visuals and context to it, so it's more accessible for all armies.
Forever. I cannot wait to get to that song, bro.
Let's start with the first notice released in January of 2020. If there are any updates, I will leave them in the comment section. This is the official BTS fan club etiquette rules, released in Korean, Japanese, Chinese, and English. They don't always do this.
That's how you know how important it is. When they can provide it in multiple different languages, this is them trying to get their point across. You cannot use the excuse of, oh, I don't speak Korean. Here it is in English. You can understand that, can't you? Oh, I don't know English either, but I speak Japanese. They got it in that too. Well, I can't speak Japanese either. What do you speak, Chinese? Hell yeah, I speak Chinese. Well, they got it in that too. That's the importance. The level of importance is, yeah, we got it in multiple languages. That's us trying to get our point across.
So this notice is very important. There are
Very.
6 rules made to create a sound fan culture and protect the rights of the BTS members. However, I will actually do the opposite of BTS's official fan club notice, and I will start with the 7th and final section, titled For Violations of Fan Club Rules. I wanted to start with this because as I was reading the do's and don't do's, my mind kept asking, or what? For example, let's say I want to break a rule and give BTS a gift. The worst thing that can happen is BTS's team throwing my gift in the trash, but I can still give it a try. Nothing can actually happen to me. Well, technically, it can. Here's the first thing that can happen. If any violations of the fan club etiquette rules are discovered, you may be restricted or prohibited from receiving the benefits of the BTS Global Official Fan Club, aka Army membership, without prior warning. This means that you won't be able to attend domestic TV music shows, you won't be able to participate in any online or in-person BTS special events, and among other things, you won't be able to get pre-sale tickets or participate in raffles for BTS concerts. And good luck getting any BTS concert tickets without early reservation because they sell out their venues during pre-sale. Your Army membership is linked to a valid identification, such as national ID or passport. So it's not like you can ask a friend to buy the membership and the tickets for you. This is the mild consequence for not following the rules. Second, the entrance to an official BTS activity.
That's mild? Not being able to see BTS? That's mild? To me, that's the worst. I don't, you can lock me up. Well, I guess if you were locked up, you wouldn't be able to see BTS either. But you get the point. That's pretty severe. I know that Bora's saying, like, she's trying to put it like a level to it. Like, that's kind of the lowest. Now she's about to get into what far worse could happen to you. But a life without BTS, not being able to see them, oh, that would kill me. Like, at least I know now, like, next year, there's a fighting chance I might get tickets. Is it 100%? Hell no. Especially the way that you guys are clicking on them goddamn monitors and mouse and keyboards. But a life without BTS and not being able to see them, that's harsh. Yeah, that I don't even know what's worth living after that.
Activity may be restricted
But I get what she's saying. Oh,
without
Lord.
prior notice. Even if you try attending any performances, music shows, or fine signing events that don't require a membership, you may still be banned from these activities. Since these are private spaces and mostly closed events, their team can restrict or prohibit entry to anyone they want to. Finally, we have the third consequence. If any actions that do not comply with the etiquette rules are found to be unlawful, evidence may be collected, and violators may be subject to civil and criminal penalties. Breaking some rules may not seem like a big deal. It's not illegal to give the BTS members a gift. Maybe BTS's team won't even notice or care, and you won't suffer any consequences. But it's about context.
Yeah.
Forcing gifts repeatedly may end up in you not attending any BTS performances in the future because you don't have an Army membership or because you are banned. And if you go as far as to stalk the BTS members to give them a gift, then you can get sued. But even if you don't get investigated, banned, or sued, please follow the rules for the safety of the BTS members, the fandom, and everyone else. With that said, let's go back to rule number 1. Do not visit sets or locations close to the public or private spaces. This can be confusing because a TV set or a stadium where BTS is going to perform are private spaces. However, you can actually visit those, as long as they are listed on Big Hit's schedule page or via Weverse announcement. You can find BTS's schedule on iBigHit.com. Just go to menu, BTS, schedule. If an activity is listed there, you can go to the location and wait for BTS as much as you want. If an activity is not on this schedule, it's most likely on Weverse. Weverse is the platform in which the BTS members communicate with fans and where BTS's team releases official notices and sells merch. The official activities BTS will participate in can be found.
And again, she's bringing up the notices and stuff like that off Weverse and whatever. And I have a lot of my Level Up family members who will sit here and tell me, you know, notifications and or things that are happening because for some reason I either don't get notified through the app, even when I have notifications turned on, or I just miss it, right? And so shout out to the Level Up family for informing me. What I also want to bring up is the fact that even though these rules are in place, there are people who are out there breaking these rules. Remember when the boys were getting out? I remember specifically Big Hit, Hive, or whoever releasing statements. Please do not go to the place where the boys would be meeting, after they got out of the military and getting discharged. Obviously they go there, speak a few words, and then I remember specifically do not attend, and people still attended. Again, there are rule breakers out there. If they say don't do something, man, it's probably don't do it. It has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that it's just safe for the boys. That's all it is. It's at the end of the day, Hive and Big Hit want them safe. We want them safe. Don't do it.
In the notices section of your Weverse app, you can see BTS's schedule as a list of announcements or in a calendar. If you don't have the app, you can find all the BTS community notices and therefore the places you have permission to visit on weverse.io
People still did it.
BTS/notice.
And we talked about this in the live streams when we did them.
Any kind of calendar or announcement are the places where BTS works privately. So do not visit company spaces, practice rooms, living spaces, or nearby areas, and any other locations that BTS has visited or are related to them. Just so you know, even if you unsuccessfully attempt to enter these spaces, you will receive civil and criminal penalties.
We talked about this earlier.
이제 잘못 발 들이면은 못 나가요. 제가 열어주지 않는 한 못 나가요. 그러니까 갇혀요. 경찰서로 가시고 싶지 않으시면 들어오지 마세요.
요즘도 집 앞에 자생 있더라. 찾자가 이 새끼들아.
Traveling a lot is also
The fact that he had to go live, I didn't know he went live and said that. I didn't know that. Shout out to Bora for informing me of that. I did not know that. If you don't want to go to the police station, don't come to my house. Oh my God, there are stalkers in front of my house nowadays too. Stop coming. You bastard. Did he really say the bastards part? Did he really say that? Anybody? Yeah, I don't. And you know what's funny is if you go to YouTube right now and you go to search up, it'll show like their houses. I think the only one it doesn't show weirdly is like Jimin or something like that. And now I even think it shows him. Like there was one of the members that it didn't show. But I think now it shows everybody, which is stupid, bro. That's absolutely fucking stupid. Sorry, I curse. I just get emotional sometimes when I watch these videos. And again, I want to acknowledge Bora, but shout out on your editing as well. I absolutely love the editing. I didn't know he had made that announcement on live. That's sad.
Traveling a lot is also an important part of BTS's work and private life. So do not visit airports or board the same flight as them during any part of their domestic or international activities, including tours and personal traveling, especially if you do this by using information acquired improperly. I will talk more about this rule later, but remember, if it's not on the official schedule, you could have only obtained this information improperly. Lastly, you are not allowed to send or leave gifts or letters at the artist's private locations. Do not send anything to BTS's living spaces, family homes, or any place of work. Number 2. Do not stalk the artist.
Please.
If it's not on the official calendars or if BTS didn't personally mention it, there's really no reason for you to know their locations or what they are doing.
No.
So do not carry out or attempt to contact, visit, follow, talk to, or make physical contact with the BTS members. Also, do not attempt these actions towards the family members, friends, and acquaintances of the BTS members.
Wait a minute. Whoa. This right here's when they were in the US, right? I think I remember seeing something briefly about this. Look at, bro, the look on Taeyoung says it all. It says it all. RM as well. I remember this. I think there was something about, I could be completely wrong. The dude who's holding the camera says, well, they're in the United States. Like we don't need their permission. Something like that, right? I can't remember. Oh, we should get together, Army, and whoever was recording this video, jump them. No, I'm just
or make
don't do that
physical
either.
contact
Please,
with the
I'm just
BTS
being
members.
stupid.
Also, do not attempt these actions towards the family
But don't go
members,
follow them either.
friends, and acquaintances of the BTS members. Finally, even if an activity
We'll let
is
Mr. Lee
part
handle
of a
that.
public schedule, you are stalking the artist if you attempt to access their waiting room or try to approach them by illegally copying, producing, or acquiring passes. So do not do this anywhere, including concert venues or other similar access control locations. Reminder that BTS's label does sue stalkers. They have a policy of no settlement and no leniency, and they do file objections and request re-investigations until the suspects are found guilty. Number 3. Do not sell or purchase the artist's personal information. Do not transact or attempt to transact the artist's personal information, such as resident registration number, phone number, address, ID, etc. Of course, people who break this rule will be subject to civil and criminal penalties, but the activity that is way too normalized and that faces these same consequences is a transaction of flight information. So do not transact or attempt to transact flight information such as flight number or seat number. Like I mentioned, BTS's label does take legal action against violators of this rule, and they have a policy of no settlement and no leniency. This is
Zero
a bigger
tolerance.
problem than you can imagine. Airports around the world, including LAX, where celebrities take flights all the time, have private entrances for celebrities. This way, mobs of fans and paparazzi are less common. But Incheon International Airport in South Korea does not have a private entrance, and everyone is aware.
Which they should, because here's what's going to happen. One of these days, one of these boys is going to get hurt. One of these days, another K-pop group member is going to get hurt. Then what? When it happens, I don't want to hear crying and complaining from the airport about, oh, we're so sorry. Like, we should have. No, first of all, let me say this. It shouldn't even get to that point. We should all be respectful of them. I don't like the fact that people are there at the airport either. But if people are going to be there, at least keep a distance. And obviously, like I discussed earlier with V, this isn't always the case. There are people who will go out of their way to get as close to the boys as possible. The moment that happens, they have now been put into danger because you never freaking know. And I hate to even have this thought up. One of these days, somebody who is intentionally and willing to hurt them will attend these events undercover as an army. And if we don't do something about this now, in the event that they get up close, something bad could happen. And that is the last thing I want. I even hate even saying that and or thinking that. It's not, as long as they continue to allow people to show up like this and don't have a private area for celebrities, you're a Korea. You are known for your K-pop groups. They are probably the biggest names in all of Korea and of all time. There should be a designated area for them and other K-pop groups, not just them, but other K-pop groups as well. Because as long as there is an ability for people to show up like this and push the little barrier, because it's really just like a barrier with like, but it's one of those like poles that kind of pulls out and it attaches to a different pole, so it has like that line that's supposed to separate you and, you know, keep you on the out. People easily just move that out of the way and just swarm. Like I said, with the whole like V situation, as long as there is an ability for people to access and to get this close to BTS, it's not a matter of if it'll happen. It's a matter of when it'll happen. And the moment it happens, this stupid airport and every other airport over there will be like, or in this case, just this airport, whatever airport they're at is going to be like, we're so sorry. We didn't mean for this to happen. We hate that it happened. There are people out there who obviously aren't going to follow the rules. And because of that, you need to have a stricter policy. Or in this case, a separate entrance and or exit away and into the airport. That doesn't allow everyday normal citizens to be this close. Something needs to happen and or be done. Because if there are going to be people out there who will break the rules and are willing to break the rules, then when it happens, I don't want to hear anything from that airport, because you've known and have seen what could happen this whole time, and you did nothing to stop it.
Of this. So the paparazzi and fans basically live in that airport waiting to see celebrities take their flights. This means that celebrities will get mobbed. The celebrities' security will sometimes be aggressive, and fans and regular passengers are in danger. The airport once tried to create a dedicated entrance for celebrities like in LAX to reduce potential congestion in densely crowded situations, but the public and lawmakers were angry about preferential treatment. Now let me add a little of my speculations and personal opinion. Celebrities are normal people, but they are not treated as such. At Incheon International Airport, they are a spectacle. The artists are not performing there, but the public gives them a special unique treatment by waiting for them, taking pictures, and trying to touch them. It's always being allowed, so they are used to this. And many make a living out of this. Not just the paparazzi, but regular people invest in professional cameras and sell their pictures and videos of celebrities. And airline employees sell the celebrities' flight information to these photographers. It's such a big ecosystem that a private...
And I hope that employee's fired if that does happen. If they find out whoever is selling that information, I hope you're fired.
Entrance will obviously receive backlash. Because this is a big issue, rule number 1 about prohibited locations includes airports. Going to the airport to see BTS is technically not against the law, but it is against the fandom rules. Just think about it. If you know the day and time BTS is going to be at the airport, that most likely means that someone bought that information illegally from an airport employee, breaking the fandom rules and the law. So please avoid being part of this problem at all. As rule number 1 mentions, do not visit airports to see BTS. Number 4. Do not take photographs or record video or audio except where permitted.
I want to bring up something on that last point as well. And it kind of came to me when I saw Jimin's face right here. And Namjoon, right? We can see our boys here, but specifically when this shot came up, the first person I saw and looked at, I can't lie, the whole time was Jimin. They don't want to see nobody get hurt either. I can't even lie. Every time they go in the airport, they put on a beautiful smile and good poker face. Because after everything you've been through and knowing that every time you go into the goddamn airport, it's going to be like this, I would be so nervous and or scared every time I went to the airport. I would dread going to the airport because this is going to happen. So when they do have civil, when they go through the airports and everybody manages to be civil from a distance, take your pictures, whatever. I don't want them to take pictures either. But if that's the worst it's going to get is just you being there taking pictures, as long as nobody swarms them, as long as nobody tries to like bull rush them, if we can't stop them from being there, I guess that's fine. They do not, on top of themselves not wanting to get hurt, they don't want to have to see their security hurt anybody. They don't want to have to see that. It would kill them. It would hurt them to know that somebody got hurt because they would probably blame themselves. That's the kind of people that they are. They're caring, they're loving. They may not agree with what you're doing, but they don't wish nobody to get hurt, and they don't want anybody to get hurt. And Mr. Lee and all these other security guards are not afraid to body slam somebody, superplex somebody if needed. That's what they're paid to do, is protect them. And if they feel that these boys are threatened, I don't want anybody getting hurt either, but I don't disagree with it. Whatever keeps them safe. That's all I care about. I just had to bring that up.
Except where permitted. This means you cannot
I might get a lot of hate for this video.
Secretly photograph or record video or audio of BTS in closed sets or locations, or in their private spaces. If a place prohibits it, You cannot do any of these activities, including broadcasting or live streaming. Do not violate rules prohibiting the possession of any devices capable of recording video or audio into concert or other venues. These rules usually don't apply to cell phones, so you can use your phone to record public activities in most venues. Finally, do not engage in video or audio recording activities that violate copyrights. Areas where recording is not permitted include inside airports, at the ticket counter, security checkpoint, lounge, duty-free stores, boarding gate, security area, and baggage claim area. So basically, nowhere inside airports. Areas also include inside network broadcast studios, performances, and venues where recording video or audio is prohibited. If violations are discovered, you may be asked to delete any video or audio recordings and will be escorted out of the venue. And if your devices get damaged while you are being escorted out, Big Hit holds no responsibility. You accept these conditions by attending the BTS event, so just follow the rules.
Yeah.
Finally, if violations are discovered during open music show recordings, the network may not only sanction the person breaking the rules, they may sanction the entire ARMY fan body, basically ruining BTS's performance. So it is mandatory that everyone follows these rules. Number 5. Do not interfere with artist-related activities. Do not interfere with the duties of the management staff, security personnel, or anyone carrying out artist-related.
Bro, look how giant this dude is. This dude too. But look how giant these guys right here are. The people who feel brave enough to try to bum rush these BTS men. Oh my God. This dude would pick me up with one finger and throw me across that airport. Lord, I wouldn't even. And here's the thing. I don't fear no man who bleeds the same as you. None. But that guy's scary.
Activities, and don't refuse to comply with the request for cooperation.
Mr.
Do
Lee
not
doing his
block
job.
the
We
BTS
appreciate you,
members
Mr.
from
Lee.
entering their vehicles. Do not prevent the vehicles from moving normally, and don't ever engage in a vehicle chase with the artist's vehicles. Finally, the 6th and last rule encompasses any other inappropriate actions unbefitting of a fan. Do not assume a false identity to engage in fan activities. For example, to participate in certain fan activities, your ARMY membership has to be linked to an official ID. So don't transfer ID cards, use an unlawfully acquired ID, use another person's ID, and don't forge such documents. To participate in certain music show broadcasts and BTS events, you may need to apply first. And some curious fans apply to attend these events while knowing they cannot actually go. So don't limit the opportunities of other fans by applying and then failing to show up for a fan club seat, or failing to bring the necessary identity verification materials to such event. Remember to always be respectful. Do not engage in actions that physically or mentally threaten the artist. And as I mentioned in the beginning of this video,
That was the person
do not
that kissed
force a
Jin,
gift
right? Or
on
tried to
the
kiss him or
artist.
something like that?
It is prohibited. The only thing you can send BTS is a letter to one authorized P.O Box, and that follows a very specific guideline. However, even if you follow all the guidelines, sending a physical letter does not guarantee that BTS will read it. Instead, it's recommended to send them online letters through Weverse. The BTS members are active on Weverse, and they even respond. You can personalize your own letter in the fan letter tab of the BTS fan community. Or you
So I apologize. Earlier, I guess I was just a little bit mistaken. So I'm probably being told in the comment section, like, Martin, you can still send them and stuff like that. I didn't know that. I'm glad that Bora went on to explain that, because I thought, like, just because they acquire so many that you can't even send like letters anymore, which isn't true. And it's just kind of the way it made it seem earlier. So I'm glad that she's going through this. I can send a letter still, and that's cool. Again, is there a chance that they'll read it? No, and that's not the point. I would love for them to read it. Do I care if they ever have the chance to read it? No. It's just a fact of being able to send them something and having the thought that they could read it. That's what means everything to me. That's enough right there. Now, if they actually read it and or respond, oh my Lord, I might just die of happiness right there. But I don't care, man, about all that. I just want to be able to share with them how I feel. And if they ever got the message, cool. And if not, that'd be okay. I would still have it in my heart. And hope and knowing that there's a chance that they could see it.
You can turn your regular Weverse post into a letter by using the following hashtags. Lastly, do not engage in other improper
So thank you, Bora, for that information.
actions unbefitting of a fan, or any actions which may be seen in a negative light by the fandom. So those were the fandom etiquette rules. Do not visit sets or private spaces, do not stalk the artist, do not sell or purchase the artist's personal information, do not take photos, record video or audio except where permitted, do not interfere with artist-related activities, and do not engage in other inappropriate actions which may be seen in a negative light by the fandom. Remember that violations of these rules may result in restriction, prohibition,
Great
or
editing,
civil
Bora.
and criminal
Shout out to you.
penalties.
Let it roll.
Now let's talk about the second notice released in October of 2024 and updated in March of 2025 regarding the guidelines for Weverse, the online fandom space BTS and ARMY are part of. If there are any updates, I will leave them in the comment section. The first thing you need to know about Weverse is that this is a platform for fandoms of different artists, not just BTS, but each fan community is some kind of closed space. To enter BTS's community, you need to create your own ARMY profile separate to any other Weverse communities, and by joining BTS's community, you accept to follow all of the rules I will mention. The severity of the consequences depend if you're found to be intentionally and repeatedly violating the guidelines or not. So first, your content will be hidden. This means that some or all your content will be hidden from the Weverse feed for a set period of time. Second, you will not be allowed to upload content. This means you will not be able to upload content for a set period of time. And in some cases, you will permanently be banned from uploading content. Third, your profile will be restricted. This means you will not be able to access other users' profiles, and you will be deleted from followers lists. You may be allowed to upload content, but the details of your profile will be deleted. So no profile photo, no header image, no bio, no followers, and no access to other profiles. Lastly, you will not be allowed to participate in communities. You will be banned from using some or all communities, either for a set period of time or permanently. In other words, you will be kicked out of BTS's and all artist communities permanently. With that said, here are the Weverse community guidelines. Weverse is a space for both artists and their fans. So activities that undermine the identity of BTS's community are banned. This means you cannot insult or promote other artists and fandoms, and you cannot have private conversations that are not related to BTS's community. Just focus on BTS and be a respectful fan. Don't impersonate any artist, label employees, service moderators, or specific users.
I'm looking over here to the side real quick, and where people are saying like, follow me back. What's your YouTube channel? Follow me back. I've never once thought to promote my own YouTube channel in any of these Weverse live streams. Like, not once. Not only that, like, it's one thing to react and or just post it on my own channel, or like on TikTok when I post like me doing the choreography, you know, and I have my channel kind of linked in my bio there. But I'm thinking of like a live stream where on Weverse itself, I've never thought about promoting my own YouTube channel and or people to follow me. That never once crossed my mind.
Fan. Don't impersonate any artist, label employees, service moderators, or specific users. Don't upload
I don't know why you would do that either.
Posts and content, aka don't spam, and don't say or do things that may offend others. Discriminating, forcing, or promoting prejudice based on politics, religion, gender, disability, age, race, region, occupation, etc.
You know, I haven't seen anybody do that on Weverse either yet, so thank God.
Is also banned. This includes manipulating and sharing misinformation in the form of images, audio, and videos. Other banned activities include treating Weverse as your personal social media. Remember, this is BTS's official fan community. You cannot share or promote personal contact information, email, or messenger IDs, and you cannot upload photos with a person's face or daily lives that are irrelevant to the community. For security purposes, you are also prohibited from inducing others to move to unverified external links, and you are prohibited from inducing others to move to external links that provide personal information with event-related content. Weverse is a space where the rights of fans must be protected, so posts that leak or request personal information are banned. This includes posting your own personal information. Remember, this is not about you, this is about the fandom.
Yeah.
So you're also prohibited from using others' posts without permission and failing to credit the original poster. The rights of artists must also be protected, so posts that illegally share images and other paid content are banned. This includes BTS's own exclusive Weverse content. So even if you paid for this content, do not share it on BTS's Weverse community. You are prohibited.
So I want to bring up something here. I saw that somebody a minute ago really quickly. Bora, I'm so sorry. I hate to interrupt you. I hope you're not mad at me if you happen to watch this. This person right here, they uploaded like an animation and or edit and then gave credit to that person. Let me just say, like, I've seen people like post me on Twitter. I even made a Twitter like just a week ago because I wanted to see it myself. I'm not going to be on the Twitter. I'm not. I'm probably going to go ahead and delete it. I thought about starting my own profile on there to reach out to other armies. I don't follow anybody but the boys. I haven't posted anything. I just literally went to that post because people said that they saw my dancing video on TikTok. They're like, yo, you're trending on Twitter right now. I was like, what? I went to that post and I put, hey, that's me. And that's all I put. And that was it. I just was going to create another platform to kind of branch out and push myself out there a little bit to maybe grow the channel a little bit more, but I don't think I'm going to end up using Twitter. I don't think so. As of this moment, I haven't really used it, and I've had it for like 3 weeks. So anyways, I want to say as well, if you ever want to share my stuff like on your own personal channel, I don't care. Like, me personally, that's me though. That's me. If you want to repost my video on your own TikTok or on Instagram or share it, I do not care personally. Me, as far as all this goes, do what Bora says, do what the community guidelines and or tell you to do, and don't violate them. But when it comes to me, you can do whatever you want with my stuff. I don't care. If people probably are eventually, if I ever reach a level of success, people are probably going to take my clips and make me look like an idiot or try to make it seem like I said things that I didn't say for clickbait reasons and or other stuff, and or to just get people to maybe not like me. And even at that, I'm okay with, because I got to take the bad with all the good as well. I can't just have it one way. Even as beautiful as all of you are, there are a lot of people out there who aren't as beautiful. And either way, when it comes to my stuff, and or if you're ever wanting to be a YouTuber as well and or react to videos, you can react to mine if you want to, or it didn't bother me. You could share. I'm fine.
The original poster.
I just had to feel like I had to mention that.
Must also be protected. So posts that illegally share images and other paid content are banned. This includes BTS's own exclusive Weverse content. So even if you paid for this content, do not share it on BTS's Weverse community. You are prohibited from posting images that include the likeness of members themselves or any other non-celebrity.
What is that shirt?
Including general photos and or modified images, such as composite images with artists. Finally, Weverse protects the rights of...
On TikTok, this has been a huge thing. Like, people are posting like them with the boys. They're not doing it on Weverse, but on TikTok, bro.
Images such as
it'll be like Jimin and
with
holding like a girl.
Finally,
and she's like
Weverse
edited herself in
the
there.
Rights of everyone, not just armies and BTS. So remember that in your posts, you cannot infringe any intellectual property rights, trademark rights, defame, invade the privacy of others, and you cannot infringe the intellectual property rights of any third party. The next section of the notice has to do with the language and type of content allowed in the platform. Defaming and insulting artists and fandoms is banned. This includes hate speech relating to gender, appearance, religion, disability, age, intelligence, race, region, occupation, or illness, or that promote biases against these groups. Using vulgar slang or banned words is banned. Editing content with the intent to spread hate or slander is banned, and bullying specific users in a community is also banned. This includes reporting a specific user or their content repeatedly with no good reason. Weverse strives to create a safe and comfortable community, so don't post things considered harmful to young children and teenagers. Any kind of sexual content is banned, including photos, videos, deepfakes, and texts. And any kind of violent content is banned, including criminal acts and illegal products. Those
Yeah,
are
none
all
of
the
that should
rules
be
regarding
posted anyways.
BTS's Weverse community feed. But you also need to know that BTS usually goes live on Weverse Live. This way, BTS and ARMY can communicate directly and instantaneously with each other. The BTS members will often read chat messages during lives, so fans need to be extra careful with their words. Mind your manners when communicating with the artist. Refrain from spamming the chat, giving orders to the artist, and making excessive requests. A big problem in the community are the repetitive speak English comments. Remember that BTS's first language is Korean, and they will talk in the language they feel most comfortable with. Weverse will eventually add subtitles in other languages after some time, but if you really cannot wait, you have two options. You can get the BTS ARMY membership and get auto-generated live translations that of course won't be 100% accurate but can still be helpful.
Kinda.
Or you can learn Korean. If you feel like this is an extreme
Which I'm
request,
currently
notice
trying
that
to do.
that's what you demanded from BTS, to
As a
speak
side
a language they are not
hobby.
fluent or comfortable in. Additionally, remember to stay on topic and don't try to force topics that are unrelated to the artist during the live. Don't ask them time and time again to say hi to your country. Ask where another BTS member is. Talk about other artists. Sing a certain song or any other topics BTS is not talking about. Finally, don't over-criticize other fans' comments. Another type of communication Weverse offers are listening parties. Weverse listening parties allow BTS and ARMY to listen to music together and communicate in real time. It's kind of like a radio. The host plays music and the audience simultaneously listens to the host's choice of songs by connecting their Spotify or Apple Music accounts. The audience also has a chat to talk about the music played by the host. There are artist official parties and there are fan-hosted parties which are hosted by ARMYs. So while joining a BTS hosted party, an ARMY party, or hosting your own listening party, keep the focus on the artist's music or related songs. Communicate about the artist or their music, and refrain from posting hateful, offensive, or repetitive content that
I think
could
this would be
disturb
fun to do.
others. As a reference, I recommend following the chat rules from the Weverse Live guideline. So when BTS is hosting a party, don't ask them to speak English, say hi to your country, or demand them anything. If you break these policies and guidelines, your party will be immediately terminated, and you may be restricted from hosting a future party without prior notice. The next section of this notice gives yet another reminder that your Weverse profile is not your personal profile. Having a profile in BTS's community means that you have an ARMY profile, so you must focus on BTS. Don't ask others to follow you or your personal channels. Don't use inappropriate profile photos. This includes images of artists that are not BTS, edited images of BTS and yourself which may lead to misconception, images that impersonate artists or moderators, and edited photos of artists that spread hate or slander. This includes using stickers in offensive manners, blurring, and hate messages. Lastly, don't use inappropriate profile nicknames and bios. Don't use text about artists that are not BTS. Don't use text with excessive personal information or intended to sell something. Don't use text created with the intention to impersonate artists or moderators. And don't use text that defames an artist's honor or slanders the artist through baseless speculation. Finally, Weverse offers a unique feature that allows ARMYs to communicate with each other and organize fandom projects without BTS knowing. This is the Hide from Artists feature, encouraged to be used for posts that encourage voting and streaming, posts created to participate in events, and posts about surprise events for BTS or something meant to be shared only between fans.
I didn't know
but
that.
Be careful. If you repeatedly use this feature for posts I did not mention, it will be considered a violation of this guideline. A reminder that Weverse encourages fans to use the report feature to make Weverse a better place. When a user's content or profile violates the guideline, or when posts deter Weverse from providing a positive and safe environment, do not hesitate to use the report feature on the upper right corner or the report profile feature.
Yeah.
Reported content and reported profiles will be automatically registered as reported through Weverse algorithms. Users who repeatedly violate these guidelines will be restricted. So those are all the BTS community rules. If I had to summarize everything, I would put it like this. BTS's community on Weverse is a safe space only for BTS and ARMY of all ages. So don't use any type of offensive words or images anywhere, and only talk about BTS related topics. With BTS reuniting and officially coming back as a group, I thought it was very important to share the official fandom etiquette rules because ARMY is not what it used to be. And in my opinion, this is natural. In the past 3 years, the dynamic between BTS and ARMY was forced to change. BTS was not able to be a 7-member group. They took turns to release solo projects while their bandmates were in the military. And even for a period of time, they all had to be in the military at the same time, leaving ARMY completely alone. So millions of new listeners met the BTS members as solo artists and don't know our fandom practices, especially since a lot of major fan bases took a break alongside BTS. So it's unrealistic to believe that everything was going to stay the same. Like I mentioned, the first fandom etiquette notice was released in 2020, but a lot of ARMYs like myself didn't pay tons of attention to it because these rules were common sense to the majority of us back then. But now it's different. New fans don't see anything wrong about going to the airport to see BTS or trying to send them a gift because how
let her
could
finish
they?
before.
These things are normal with most fandoms out there, and the general public turning into BTS fans don't know about the Incheon airport situation and they didn't go through the prohibition of gifts notice. So instead of complaining, I hope this message reaches all baby ARMYs. I don't want all these new fans to get banned from BTS activities on accident because they don't know the rules. So let's welcome everyone and let's normalize these practices.
For the rest of my life.
Hey, there's me.
Weverse algorithm.
I always hate seeing my videos pop up at the end there, bro, but it's gonna happen. Bora said something that I feel like I have to elaborate on just a little bit. Not, you know, the way she said it at the end there, perfectly well, right? It's just my, and I agree with her on one half of my brain. The other half of my brain wants to say something a little bit differently in a little bit of a meaner way. So I'm going to try to say it not as mean. So I'm going to let this part, because I think this conclusion was very well said. I just want to go through this conclusion one more time.
With BTS reuniting and officially coming back as a group, I thought it was very important to share the official fandom etiquette rules because ARMY is not what it used to be. And in my opinion, this is natural. In the past 3 years, the dynamic between BTS and ARMY was forced to change. BTS was not able to be a 7-member group. They took turns to release solo projects while their bandmates were in the military. And even for a period of time, they all had to be in the military at the same time, leaving ARMY completely alone. So millions of new listeners met the BTS members as solo artists and don't know our fandom practices, especially since a lot of major fan bases took a break alongside BTS. So it's unrealistic to believe that everything was going to stay the same. Like
I agree to a point there, because she said that things had to change and this was natural because many new listeners came into the picture while the boys were gone. However, I don't know if it's necessarily natural, and it definitely could be, that we had to kind of adapt and change. But this didn't have to be the case. I came into the picture 18 months ago when all the boys were in the military. I learned and am capable of learning the rules, abiding by the rules, and doing things the way that was intended for ARMY and BTS. So it's possible for everybody to do it as well. People who choose not to do it don't truly care, in my opinion. The fact that one of us is able to do it only tells me that everyone is capable of doing it. People just choose not to. I get what she's saying. I really do. And I hope that I'm able to explain this well, because throughout this entire video, she unpacked a lot of stuff, but she made it simple and easy to understand. Remember? I don't know, because like I said, there was a lot of information, but to understand, definitely. I also want to add, though, and on top of her conclusion, if it doesn't feel like you should do it, if you have to ask yourself, should I? Would this be okay? The answer's no. Even if it ends up being okay, you probably still shouldn't do it. Unless you know for an absolute fact that it is okay. If you have to second guess and or question what you're doing is right or wrong, then you shouldn't do it. With what she said about new armies and them not learning, maybe not learning the fandom etiquette, I still just always have, I want to push it aside, the fandom etiquette and or the rules, because a lot of the things that are said in these rules are just common human decency. Like things that you shouldn't do. Whether you knew the fandom rules or not, you shouldn't stalk them. You shouldn't do a lot of the things. You shouldn't go to the sets. You shouldn't do a lot of the things that Bora so kindly was able to share with us regarding these BTS and fandom rules. A lot of these are just exactly the word that she used. Not fandom, BTS fandom. Leave those words out. It's just etiquette. These are common sense things not to do. People should know not to do these. And that's the insane thing about the fact that the fact that they made this rule. I had a teacher in nursing school who told us about a rule that was set in place. And it was, I'm not even going to say it because it's not appropriate. And when she said that it was a rule, we were like, what the hell? Like, why is that even a rule? She said, do you know why rules are made? It's because someone's already done them and or attempted to do it. So we have to make a rule about it now. And that's upsetting. Those rules are said because someone felt the need to do something that they knew was probably and is not okay. And that sucks. And that's sad that people are willing to go people are willing to go to such lengths as to stalk them, go to the sets, and all this other stuff, knowing it's not okay. That's terrible. I want to expand a little bit more, but I'm gonna let her continue.
The first fandom etiquette notice was released in 2020, but a lot of armies like myself didn't pay tons of attention to it because these rules were common sense to the majority of us back then. But now,
and still should be, regardless. I don't give it. See, I'm not yelling at her. It's just, I'm not even getting upset with her. No, not by any means. It's just, I don't understand. Like, nothing changed. We just gathered more people. It's common sense. She just said it. I don't care if they went from 50 million fans to 100 million fans, but before going in and coming out of the military, which isn't the case. It's a lot more than that. Trust me. But I'm just giving an example. The rules still do not change. Whether there were rules or not, it's common sense. It is like, I don't know. They shouldn't have to revise and edit and put out another notice of the fandom rules. To me, it's just common sense. Am I the only one?
it's different. New fans don't see anything wrong about going to the airport to see BTS or trying to send them a gift, because how could they? These things are normal with most fandoms out there, and the
Are they? Because I see, that was another thing. I'm gonna let her finish.
general public turning into BTS fans don't know about the Incheon airport situation, and they didn't go through the prohibition of gifts notice. So instead of complaining, I hope this message reaches all baby armies. I don't
See, and that's you're such a beautiful soul, because I'm gonna be the complainer. Bora chooses the high route. I choose to go low. I'm just being honest. Like, Bora is such a sweet and beautiful person. I've had the opportunity to speak with her. I've seen a lot of her videos. I've on every single live stream every goddamn week. I don't get to talk in the chat because 99% of the time I'm having to work. And so I'm just able to listen. So I do apologize, but I'm there. A beautiful and kind soul. But I always choose a different route than Bora does. And that's where we kind of differ. That's where we separate. Is because she mentioned a minute ago, a lot of, and she's just being informational, right? She's informing. Not a lot of new armies, I don't want to call them armies. Not a lot of the new fans see a problem with going to the airport. Not a lot of new fans see a problem with sending a gift to, because it may be normal with other celebrities and stuff like that. Is it? Is it though? You think Drake wants a swarm of people at the airport around him while he's trying to get to his car and or to the airplane? You think Kendrick wants it? You think Beyonce wants it? You think Jay-Z wants it? But of course, here in the States, like she said earlier, our celebrities have a different section that they can kind of go to and navigate so that that doesn't happen, which then again brings me around to the airports in Korea need to do something about it. They need to, because when something happens, and at this pace, it will, because it's gotten pretty scary at times. We don't want to hear the airport apologize later for it, because you could have and you should have done something about it earlier. It's not okay. And again, that's just common human decency. That's just common sense. If you wouldn't want it done to you, what makes you think? Because Bora made a very interesting point earlier about how K-pop stars are normal people, just like you and me. So if you as a normal person as well wouldn't want something like that done to you, what makes you think that these 7 other normal people would want the same thing, wouldn't want the same thing not done to them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm just finding a hard time to explain it. But I guess in my conclusion, if you think you shouldn't do it, then you shouldn't do it. If you aren't certain that it's 100% the okay to do, the right thing to do, don't do it. I don't know how else to explain it. She gave you a lot of information, very easy to understand. But let me simplify her simplifying it for you. Don't do it. If you're not sure if you should do it, then don't do it. Treat others the way you would want to be treated. That's the whole message of this video, in my opinion. Bora, I hope I didn't disappoint you. And I'm sorry if I said things, and I apologize to Army if I get emotional during these videos. Videos like this just piss me off. That's how you know Bora's a great... She's great at her job, because the emotion that she gets out of me during these videos, bro. That's going to do it right there. Hope you guys enjoyed. Shout out to Bora. I will leave a link to her channel in the description down below. Make sure to go follow her, tune into her live streams and other videos that will be coming out in the future. Also, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to this channel, as all these things help with the channel moving forward. And until next time, peace.